What is going on, everybody? Josh White here, and you're watching another JDub Twins episode. Before we get started, please hit that subscribe button down below so you can be notified of our latest videos. So, one of the biggest questions that we have is the 2020 Mustang GT Premium a good daily driver? Well, to answer that question, we have to identify what qualities make a good daily driver. Now, we could talk all day about the unlimited amount of qualities that make a good daily driver, but for this video, I narrowed it down to 3 things that I take into consideration when considering a car to be a good daily driver. And that is whether it's drivable, whether it's comfortable, and whether it is practical. If it's not all 3 of these things, then I wouldn't consider it to be a good daily driver. So starting with the 2020 Mustang GT Premium Performance Pack 1 as a drivable car. And in my honest opinion, it is. And what I mean by that is that it's easy to drive. It has good visibility out of the front and side windows, and the blind spots aren't too bad, especially with the blind spot warning system. It helps out a lot. Another thing that makes this car a very drivable car is that it has 432 horsepower and 417 torque to the wheels. Keep in mind, I do have the full performance calibration kit installed. When passing vehicles or merging onto the highway, it's a breeze, something that you'd inevitably have to do in a daily driver. Now, I'm sure I'm gonna get some dislikes for this one, but the fact that my car has the 10R80 automatic transmission, to me, makes it a more drivable car than if it had the MT82 manual gearbox. Now, I don't have to worry about consistently having to shift gears during stop and go traffic, which I'm sure any manual car driver can admit that can get a little bit annoying. Maybe that falls under both comfort and drivability, but yeah. Another thing that makes this car drivable is the backup camera. And if you get the premium, you get backup assist and cross traffic warning as well. And to wrap up how the 2020 Mustang GT Premium Performance Pack 1 is a drivable car, we have the sticky Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's and the big Brembo brakes. During my commutes to work, I've definitely gotten into some hairy situations where I've had to hit my brakes very aggressively or swerve out of the way of random debris in the road. And it gives me peace of mind knowing I have rubber on the road and brakes that can handle those kinds of situations. Now, I'm not saying that having all-season tires or standard brakes will not be able to handle those situations, but these performance parts allow for a bigger window of last-minute decision-making to happen. So also as an honorable mention, although not necessary for a car to be a drivable daily driver, is that this car is just plain fun to drive. Who wouldn't want to daily drive a car that they didn't have fun driving? So now moving to the second aspect of a good daily driver, whether the car is comfortable. In order to consider a car to be a good daily driver, you have to stand driving in it for extended periods of time if necessary. And the 2020 Mustang GT Premium Performance Pack 1 has all the creature comforts and niceties that make a good daily driver. I absolutely love the seats that are in my car. They're comfortable, heated and ventilated, and has lumbar support. And the headrest is very soft and comfortable as well. The bolstering to me is just right. I couldn't imagine having the Recaro seats or the cloth seats. And also some other niceties is that you have a heated steering wheel, you have climate control, you can soften the suspension with the available MagneRide suspension, you can adjust the steering feel, you can adjust the exhaust loudness, and you have a big, nice 8-inch touchscreen display. The B&O audio sounds great, which is very important to me when driving the car daily. And simply put, this car has just about every feature you need to make this car a very comfortable daily driver. Now, I know what you're gonna say is that, well, what about the passengers in the back seat? Well, let's be honest, this video is about why this car is a good daily driver, not a good daily rider. Although I will say that my wife is very comfortable riding in the passenger seat, the back seats are virtually non-existent. They can hold people, and I've had people sit in the back for short rides, but they weren't necessarily comfortable. Regardless, I don't consider the back seats a ding for comfortability when considering it as a good daily driver. And the last factor to consider when we talk about a good daily driver is whether the car is practical, which to me, the 2020 Mustang GT Premium Performance Pack 1 is very much so. The car is small enough to drive around without feeling paranoid that you're going to hit or scrape anything, unlike some of its competitors like the Dodge Challenger Scat Pack Widebody. So this car gets decent gas mileage. It's rated at 16 city, 25 highway, and 19 combined. But I've averaged around 20 combined and 26 highway. Unless you work at a construction site, a farm, or daily commute to where it snows like crazy, this car is perfectly fine to daily drive and commute to work with it being a rear-wheel drive car. And lastly, the car has decent trunk space, with more space if you fold down the back seats. So you can take a road trip and throw a few bags in the back or even suitcases, or just do some simple grocery shopping. So that wraps up this video of if this car is a good daily driver. And again, in my honest opinion, yes, it is. I do daily drive my car and I absolutely love it. I'll say that the only drawback to daily driving this car is that with the Performance Pack 1 setup, you can't rotate your tires because it's a staggered setup. So that takes away from the practical factor a little bit, but not enough for me to say that this car isn't a good daily driver. So thanks for watching, guys and girls. Please, if you like what you're watching, subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for the next JDub Twins episode. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.